Hello. Mwah. How are you all doing? This is your goddess guru, Tirra-Omilade. You all know I love helping women align with their life purpose using ancient wisdom so that they confidently and courageously live the amazing lives that they know they deserve. I'm also all about adopting and living the goddess centered lifestyle. And so, yeah, I hope that all of you are feeling aligned. I hope that you are feeling good. How is it going out there, my friends, my sisters? Hope everyone is well. I see Woot Bohemian Belle in the house. What's up? What's up, goddess? How you doing? Good to see you. How's everybody out there? I see other goddesses are joining. So glad that you are here. I wanted to get on and just briefly this evening because I am hosting a poetry event for the nonprofit that I work for. So it's online, so I have to get off and get on that. But I wanted to get on this evening and talk to you all about just a few things that, just give you a little food for thought. And it's a lot of it is based on what I have been looking at for my own self. And that is the memory. We need to talk about the memory. People don't talk about the memory enough when it comes to spirituality. So I just definitely want to bring that in. But first, let's see who's here. Let's see here. I see Jasmine. Hello. Hello. You okay with me, Jasmine? You know I love you. So it's like, welcome, Jasmine. You here for the happy hour. Yes, I know you feeling right and you feeling tight. Hello, CV. Hello, Felicia. Hello, Chula. Thank you. Yeah, I know this is one of my power colors for being online. So it's one of the reasons I have it on. Wonderful. Hey, Mama Earth. How you doing? Mama Earth, the Queen Mother. Let's see here. My sister is joining with me today. Hello, Felicia's sister. Hello. Hello, Maya. Welcome all of my sisters. So tonight, let's start off with just a little bit of relaxation. Let's start off bringing ourselves aligned. Let's peel away some of the energy of our week. That's what I love about this spiritual happy hour. So let's start off with just a few deep breaths. Verdi. Hey, Verdi. Everybody, welcome, Verdi. This is Felicia's sister. Good to see you, Verdi. Glad you're here. I love your name. So let's start off with a few deep breaths, sisters. Baby Boo Grace, what's up, my sister? Putting our hands over our hearts. Let's just take a few deep breaths in. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and take another deep breath in. Inhale. And as you inhale, think of your wonder and your glory. Exhale. We don't honor ourselves enough in that way. So let's do this again. Inhale. Feeling good, feeling aligned, feeling in love with yourself. Exhale. Knowing that you are perfection. There's nothing that anyone can add to you to make all of this goodness that is you any better. Let's do one more. Inhale. Feeling connected with right now, letting our minds come powerfully and fully into this now moment. Exhale. Release and let go of any tension and stress that you may feel in your body. Beautiful. So the next thing that we'll do is let's just do a little bit of tapping on our meridian. So we'll start right here under our cheekbones, and you want to just tap and inhale and exhale. When you tap on this particular meridian, it helps to bring your energy back up wherever you have energy drains. It helps to divert that energy so that it's not draining. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. The next one that we're going to go to is right here under your collarbone. And you just tap, tap, tap. I like moving mine up and down. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Again, this is one of our primary meridians. Whenever I feel stressed, one of the first things I do is I start tapping right here. Boom. It's like, oh my gosh. Inhale and exhale. Good. Next, we'll come here at our breastplate. This is our thymus meridian. We're thumping, thumping, thumping. Inhale, exhale. Next, we come right here at our bra line. That's the spleen. The spleen is very important to digestion, but it's not just digestion of food. It does include that, but it's also digestion of emotion. And that's one of the things that we'll be talking about this evening. So inhale, exhale. Okay, so next what we're going to do is crossing our energy, which is very important. Okay, so you just put your hand in your shoulder, bring it down and across to the other side. So you start at the top on one side, cross a diagonal down to the other side, and you just keep that going. Beautiful. Nice. Because part of the reason we end up feeling drained is our energy will go what's called parallel, which means that it is not crossing. The different meridians and the different energy centers in our bodies are not crossing. So we always want to cross our energy. Something that can help clear your head is take one arm out, put the other one across on top, interlace your fingers, bring your hands in and up towards you. Let's take a deep breath in. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to unfold our arms and then switch the arm that's on top to the bottom, bring it back in. And again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Now, the next thing that we'll do, if you are able to close your eyes, going ahead and do that. And going ahead and envision that you are enveloped in a beautiful golden white bubble of light. And we're going to do some energy work inside of our bubble. After we've had a long week, lots of meetings, lots of taking care of the family, all the other things that we experience, there is a time to reclaim our energy. I say it's every day, personally, but we definitely want to take time at the end of our week to reclaim our energy. So the bubble is signifying you have now contained your energy, but we're going to do a little bit more work on clearing this energy. And so now what I want you to imagine is that there is a golden white column of light coming down from the universe, and it is cutting all cords that have been set up to you, cutting all cords that you have set up towards other people in any way, be it the person that you talked to at the store or someone that you noticed when you were driving, or a meeting, someone that you work with, maybe even someone in your family. Just imagine that all cords are being cut. It's not that they can't be reestablished, but you're just wanting to contain your energy. You're wanting your energy to come back into you. Okay? And so now what I want you to imagine, once all of the cords have been cut, is imagine that there is a column of energy that's at the base of your spine, and it shoots down into the earth. You could be on the 22nd floor of your building right now. Imagine it just shooting down through the building, down through the concrete, wherever you are, down into the earth, and feel yourself connected to Mother Earth. Feel yourself grounded in Mother Earth's energy, and imagine that column of light going all the way down, or that column of energy, that string of energy going down to the Earth's core, and it stops right there. And feel the energy of the earth, of Mama Earth, her loving, giving, healing energy moving up through that column, that cord, as it comes into your spinal cord. And just run that energy up to the top of your head and down back to the bottom of your spine. And just keep running that energy up and down, up and down. Good. And so at this point, we have cleared our energy a bit. We have tapped on our meridians. to make sure that they are flowing and our energy is flowing. And we have connected and grounded ourselves to Mother Earth so that we can be present in the moment, be present for what is right now. And when you're done with the live stream, you can be present for your family, or for if you're at work, whatever it is you're doing, you can be present for it. Okay. So, yes, there we go with that. So I hope that you all have had a good new moon in Aquarius. This upcoming week, I just finished the recordings for the inner circle of the readings that I do each week, and was reminded of how strong this upcoming week is going to be. So I encourage you to take as much time this weekend as you can to nurture yourself. All right. Love on yourself and be gentle with yourself next week. It's very, very important. Hello, Veronica. Yes, Maya. Everything that I show you, I hope that y'all continue to use them even when you're, or come back and watch this video. I don't take the videos down. Let's see here. Hello, JS. And hey, Mimi Branch. Good, Felicia. She says it feels good. So for me, I'll segue with a story as to why I wanted to talk about memory. So in astrology, there's different ways of understanding what cycle are you in. And I have a cycle that I am embarking on in the middle of that has to do with the emotions. It has to do with the emotional house in the chart. For those who know astrology, the fourth house. Now, prior to this cycle that I entered, I started learning more about the power of emotions and spiritually, what do emotions do for us, or how does working with emotions help us in any way? And I've told as many people as I can, and I will continue to tell people about this movie called Emotion. And then we talked about one time, y'all give me the name of the movie. I don't know why I don't ever, Inside Out. I got it. Inside Out. When I watched Inside Out several years ago, it made me find this movie called Emotion. And it helped me to begin to understand the importance of emotions and how we are not taught anything about our emotions. We're taught nothing for the most part about our emotions, other than you better stuff that emotion before I give you more to think about or more to cry about, right? Or just misunderstood. Maya mentioned being an empath. Empaths pick up other folks' emotions. So it's like we're not just dealing with ours, we're dealing with other people's emotions. And no one really taught us how to handle all of this emotional stuff, right? And so I've been doing more work with this concept of emotions. And a lot of what this is about memory. And so when we talk about understanding our constitutional makeup in terms of body, mind, spirit, and emotions, this emotional faculty is something that it would greatly benefit all of us to understand what is this. Now, I first understood it as a faculty, like a part of who and what we are, in this way when I studied this book called The Metu Neter, and began to deepen my understanding of how the goddess that is greatly aligned with our emotions is Yemoja. Another name is Aset or Isis. In astrology, this would be the energy of the moon. The moon has to do with our emotions. And so that's when I began to say, okay, this is like an actual part of us that we can actually go in and tweak and do all kinds of things, because the emotions show us so much about what we think, what we feel, what's going to be allowed, what's not going to be allowed. How many times have we made a commitment to make a change or start something new, but it's maybe not, it doesn't feel super safe, or we don't really know how can we achieve this thing. We're uncomfortable. We're stepping out of our safety zone, and our emotions will sabotage us. Think of how we talk about emotions. I had a wave of emotions come over me. It's an ocean of emotions in us. This is why this energy is connected to the mother, and this is the name Yemoja. She is the mother form of the goddess. Okay. So I've been learning about how much emotions get stuck in us, and how it is, if we want to make forward movement, then we've got to begin to work on these emotions. And a lot of times the emotions are connected to memories. If you want to know, why am I stuck? Think of the memories that keep coming up. And let me know if you can relate to this. Think of the memories that keep coming up, because essentially that is what a stuck emotion is. It's a memory, and it gets lodged in us. And for a lot of us, it looks like, oh, I'm a failure, or it looks like I have a phobia, an OCD, or it looks like, I can't keep a relationship. Now, let me just preface it with, I'm not a therapist or anything like that. I'm talking in general, because I know people have experienced extreme trauma. Though a lot of times people are hopeless, and then they have to go talk to somebody who works with healing emotions in the end. But let's just sort of just talk like, every average day, everyday average folk dealing with the stuff that we deal with. It perhaps could be your memory. What are you remembering? Okay. And a lot of it is subconscious. That is the thing, that is the kicker about this. It's subconscious. It's playing just below our level of consciousness, where we'll act it out. We will self-tame. We will, create situations where we said we wanted to do A and we ended up doing H. Okay. And so, yeah. And then we think, oh, I'm just a failure. I can't get ahead. I don't know how to do this. And so this is so important, is understanding these stuck emotions, and how a lot of times the clues that we get are the memories. And the thing that we always have to do is to understand, taking this in just a little bit of a different direction. Life will make us come in and forget. This is what this is part of the divine design. We are divinity. How divinity gonna come into this world and just be like, oh, I'm just supposed to play like, I don't know who I am? Divinity is not going to do that. Divinity had to create a situation where it could forget itself in order to rediscover itself, to remember. This is another reason why memories are so important, and why healing the emotions are is tantamount to our spiritual growth and evolution. Because the memories, or the stuck emotions, they hinder and impede the progress that we want to make to self-realization and self-mastery. And so it behooves us to find out, okay, what is it that I need to heal? And a lot of times it's going to come up as a memory. And this, memory represents the stuck emotion. And so we want to make sure that we understand that we want to be on this path of self-discovery, self-mastery, remembering the truth of who and what we are. And on our way there, we may have to remember some stuff that, oh, I remember this happening when I was a kid. And then we have to find ways to release the stuck emotions. And that's something I would love to hear from you all. Hey, Laurel, I would love to hear from you all about, do you have ways of releasing emotions? A lot of us will cry. And of course, what have we been taught? You better not cry. That's a sign of weakness. We need to change that conversation. We need to change the way that we understand, you know, emotional release. I think it's so important to take time, especially when you're in a deeply healing period. There's going to be times when we're more active and we're outwardly focused. But when you're in an internal time, like what I'm in right now, um, it is, yeah, there may be days where you're like, okay, on Saturday, I'm going to get in that bathtub. I'm going to make sure I have a nice big cry, and I'm crying to release everything that's here. I'm crying to release and let go of this grief, this memory that I have, this time that I was never able to express myself. So yes. Mhm. And it's interesting. I remember when I was like, whoa, I used to be able to cry at the drop of a dime, but I remember last year even feeling like I've been hardened. It just felt like my inner energy was hard. And I was like, I know this is not who I am, but it was even like I could see my inability to express emotion and having a lot of stuck emotion. Not expressing the emotion is like what this is what's getting us in trouble. We want to express the emotion, and see, some of it happened when we were little. We didn't even know how to get it out. Oh my gosh, God forbid. They were like, you better not cry, or I'm gonna give you something to cry about, And if you say that to your kids, I'm not making fun of you, but I didn't like that. I needed to cry. I needed to not stuff it. I can relate. Have to deal with it, face it, let it go. Yes. I'm allowing myself to cry more. Nice. Shifting inherited ancestral patterns, transmutation, and emotional alchemy. Yes. I shifted my karma into dharma. Nice. I'm riding the wheel of fortune. Beautiful, Maya. Yes. Tears cleanse. Exactly, CV. Yes. Primordial waters and stagnant emotional energy creates physical illness in me. That's such a good point, Jasmine, because a lot of times this is how people are able to begin the path to healing, by looking at what are the stuck emotions that are there and releasing them. Now, going back to the ancestral energy, what I have learned recently in the last maybe 6 months to a year is just how much our ancestors play in these stuck emotions. We love our ancestors. Howsoever, we could have emotions passed down from us from generations so far back. We definitely do not have the names. Even if you're from a culture where you have been able to trace your ancestry back, it can go back that far. And one of the things that we teach in the goddess tradition is, at least through the sacred feminine mysteries, is that when you heal yourself, you heal the ones who came before you. So releasing the stuck emotions, some of these stuck emotions that we have in us are related to our ancestors. They were handed down to us. This is why the ancestral memory is so important. Okay. And understanding our need to work with the ancestral memory, because that's what these emotions are. And the goal is to remember your power, your wonder, and your glory. Let's see here. Cleansing helps me with emotion because I can listen to music. Cleaning, sorry, helps me with emotions because I can listen to music and think and be productive all at once. I cry at everything, so crying happens often. Yes. So good. Hey, blessed goddess. Okay. I just spent 2 years at the doctor with abdomen pain. I even had a colonoscopy. Turns out it's your psoas. Really. I have some stuck emotion there. And I'll tell y'all something that I know to be true for my own practice, but it was taught to me by the yogis, is keeping your hips healthy. And so it's so important to make sure releasing the muscle tension, stretching our bodies. This is so important. And definitely doing anything that opens your hips. So important. I hope that you're able to release that. I used to be an emotional crybaby when I was younger. My environment and family expectations hardened me. Jasmine, I get that. I get that. It's like the world says you got to be tough. And so this year, one of the things that I've been sharing in my inner circle is, well, I think here too, it's a year for self care. This is the superpower of the year. Self care is the superpower of the year. Self love, self care, self worth, self value. Superpower of 2021. Take care of yourself, because that's another thing about this energy of this goddess Yemanja. The more you engage in self-care, the more you are able to withstand releasing these emotions. And maybe they'll just kind of naturally come out because you'll naturally be doing things that are helping you to soften down enough to get the emotion out, instead of what do? We just pile it in there, pile it in there. So yeah. I was always made fun of. Hold on, let me make sure. I'm spending more time with Oshun. Yes. I was always made fun of by my peers for being so sensitive. I squashed it. All of us sensitive souls, we are needed right now. It is safe. We have to give ourselves safe space. Let me say it that way. We want to create a space that's safe for us, and you may have to go find people who are like, bring it. Bring me your sensitivity. Bring me your emotion. But we need more of that right now in the world. It will heal us. It will heal our ancestors. And it will heal any descendants who come after us. This is the kind of work we want to do. So, yes, reproductive and digestive issues because of pent up emotions. And so this is, people will say we're crazy, but this is important. This is important work, is to release pent up emotions, to honor the emotions. So something that I know is pretty common and popular, though I know sometimes people don't really get it. I didn't get it when I first found it in 2006. But tapping on the meridians will help you. And so let's just go through it first and foremost, just in case people haven't seen it. But let's try this, okay? I'll give something that's probably a bit general that we all could do this on. But the thing about tapping is, first and foremost, we tap on different parts of our body, and it helps to move the energy in our meridians. This is why we're tapping. It looks weird, but it's actually tapping on different meridians in the body. And what ends up happening is these stuck emotions, these stuck memories, they block our meridians. And so even though I know I'm not a medical doctor or anything like that, but let's just think about the ancient way of, approaching medicine, or healing, I should say. It was more on an energetic level. And that's what this is speaking to. Okay. And it won't hurt anything. Let me tell you something. You can tap. It's not going to interfere with any medical, whatever, is going on with the medicine that people are used to here in the United States. So it helps to get our energy flowing. And it gives a voice to that emotion, that stuck memory. And so the first thing you do is you always do a setup phase where you're tapping here on the karate chop point. Now, some people do things differently. I'm doing it the super basic, easy way. And you go through and you tap on your meridians 3 times, and you're expressing the emotion. You are expressing whatever's there that you want to get out. This is a way to get the emotions out. And then you go back in and you put in you what it's more positive vibrations. A lot of times what ends up happening is you begin to see a different perspective once you give voice. That's what you're wanting to do. And so I'm just going to do one round of the negative. So it's real simple. And people give scripts, but you don't have to follow the script. A lot of times I'll use a script if I'm sort of like, I know there's something specific I want to work on. And then I will let it rip. I will just say everything that's on my mind. And sometimes it's like, ooh, it's like I'm hurting because I'm just like, ah. But you don't have to even tap on both sides. You can tap on one side, okay? But let's just say, and if you want to try this with me, you can. Even though I'm frustrated, I love and accept myself deeply and completely. Even though I'm frustrated, I love, honor, and respect myself deeply and completely. Even though I'm frustrated, I love, honor, and respect myself and love myself deeply and completely. And you give it a voice. So if it's frustration is the example that I'm using, and you could just be this simple. I'm frustrated. And a lot of times when I'm doing it, I say it with all the emotion I can. I'm just not like, oh, I'm frustrated. No, I'm like, I'm frustrated. I am so freaking frustrated. Man, frustrated. And that a lot of times I'll just start going into what I am frustrated about. I'm just so frustrated. And I'm tapping on all the points. And so you would do that 3 times. And so sometimes I'll go through and I'll say, I'm frustrated. I don't even know why I'm frustrated. Well, I'm frustrated because, and I'm just making stuff up, which it probably happened because I keep trying to lose weight and I don't know why I can't lose weight. And everybody else seems like they can lose weight and I'll just be tapping. And then the next thing I know, I'm like, really, I just miss my mama. It's like, but you know what? Everything is okay. My mother will be proud of me. Then you go through and you start tapping what you want to hear. So let's just go through a series. I would say after I went through my negative rounds, if I'm frustrated and giving voice to that, would go through with, even though I'm frustrated, I am grateful though that I'm alive and that I have an opportunity to give it a try again. And, maybe I thought it was horrible, but actually after I've tapped a little bit, I can see it's not as bad as I thought. And, I came up with a plan, and it just feels so much more doable. And you just start putting this affirmative affirmations or with sentences that have to do with perspective, seeing the big picture, you tap those in. And just like at the beginning, when I went through the tapping with you all, this tapping, once you get the emotion out, and you upload something that has a better vibration, you just feel better. And listen to the word I use, feel. Our emotions, our feelings. Because again, these emotions, they will prevent us from evolving spiritually. Emotions will prevent us from rising to our highest and our greatest success. And so it behooves us, I know I keep saying that word, to look at this seriously, look at what the heck is going on with these emotions, whether you know if they're there or not, whether it's yours or did you inherit it from a parent or a great grandparent, It's astrology says this happens. And now learning from people who work quite a bit with emotions, they are saying we bring in our ancestral energy. If you're somebody who's like me, and trust me, all y'all are, I don't care what you look like. We all got something from back then. But I think to myself, I come from a people who were enslaved, captives, lost a whole culture, lots of trauma. I might need to tap on their behalf. And so sometimes I might start tapping like I'm so hurt by what I know happened to my ancestors. It seems so traumatic, and I just start going through it. And maybe I know something that happened, like with my grandmama. I know my great grandmama. And it's like I just cry and I cry and I cry for them. And then I go through and I say, I come from a great and mighty people. There's no way any other people could have made it through with the class and the grace that my ancestors made it through that transatlantic slave trade. And then I'll start saying, you know what, my ancestors, they didn't do all that for me to sit and not rise to my highest and greatest goodness. I am their dream. It's like I just turn it into something else and I feel the emotion. And I know that I know that I know that it is my ancestors that are giving me the words, that are giving me the juice, that are saying, yeah, girl, we didn't do all of that for you to not do this spiritual business, for you to not homeschool your kids, for you to not show up in a space and be proud of who and what you are. From top to bottom, in and out, up and down, all around. We ain't go through all of what we went through for that. And thank you for releasing these emotions, because now we are free to evolve in our souls. It doesn't matter what your ancestral lineage is. All ancestors need this. The human race, at the end of the day, we all going through the same things, just different storylines. Our ancestors are saying, please help us. And some of them are like, you know what? You're the one that's going to heal it. And I know it might be you got stomach issues. You got issues going on with your psoas. But we know that you are the one who is doing this work. And you're going to figure this out. That when you heal that part of your body, it will send a healing out to the lineage in such a way that the ones that come after you, they won't have to deal with this. This is how deep this work is. If all you did is heal yourself, though. Oh, yeah, I'm just like lost in talking. Dance, I love that. Dance, emotions get trapped in the physical body. Moving your body can be so freeing. Yes. I cannot overstate the importance of dance for releasing emotions. Yes, because that's your sexual, creative, emotional chakra zone. Shake them chakras. Yes. Have you heard the story of David Goggins, world toughest man, now has to stretch every night for 2 hours to be able to function? I need to look that up. No, I've not heard of that. Sacral chakra energy just out of whack. Yes. It's safe to love. Yes. Okay, here's a good one. This is something that I bet you, if some of us have been told this, when we tap on it, it would release so much. I remember being told to be a big girl, in quotes. This led to unhealthy relationship with food. Still working through this. It's amazing what happened back then, how it still impacts us today. But see, the good news is we're in this time of healing and we're free to do it. Instead of being so like maligned for being different. So yeah, we can go on ahead and do that healing. I'm healing myself. Yes. Ashe, I'm so happy to hear that, Jasmine. Jasmine is really appreciating what other sisters have said to her. Okay. Awakening awareness started in 2012, but it wasn't until my son was born that my journey kicked off. And now I'm on this shadow work journey because of him. Children are a great mirror. I get that, Bohemian Belle. I had a very similar experience. Yes, never, do not skip out of shame, Jasmine. You know, we don't do that, baby. We don't do that. Yes. I'm so glad you showed up too. Exactly, Bohemian Belle. Girl, we don't care how. We love you here. Exactly. Woo. Yes. Do that shadow work for those future descendants. Go on ahead and cry, baby. You might let out some stuck emotions. Rory, I resisted tapping for years, and then I took a course in it for therapists, and it has changed my life and the lives of many of my clients. I just got to show Rory's comments because I can relate. And it almost sounds like some of these things that we do, you know, you're just on a I just sound like I sound a broken record, but it works when you use tapping. And like I said, I tried. 2006 is when I first found it. I tried it, and it's just been 2020 that made me say, you know what, I'm going to do that tapping. And then those in the inner circle know I've gone on and on and on about Ho'oponopono. It just works for me. And that removes, see, this is the other thing about things like tapping or techniques like tapping and Ho'oponopono. You don't have to relive the trauma. You don't have to relive it. Just start tapping. It's so easy. And you don't have to relive the trauma. You don't even have to know what the trauma is. My latest thing is emotion code. The book has been a little bit hard to get through, but it uses a magnet if anybody wants to check that out. It's funny because the birth of, we got the sisters drinking red wine. It's funny because the birth of my son set me on this path of spirituality even harder. And so I've taken up spirituality in witchcraft, and my son's North Node is in the 12th house. Wow. And you want me to tell you, Bohemian Belle, I remember after having my sons, I said motherhood is my spiritual path. I was like, whoa, this is deep. I still need to start EFT tapping course. Yes. Mm-mm. Yes. This is powerful that the ancestors pull is something else. Yes, I guess we got to heal for the ancestors and the descendants. I really do think that this is part of the work that we need to do this year. Last year sort of set it off. It was just weird to me seeing so many people, they just kept going on and on and on about ancestors, people who typically you don't hear talking about ancestors. Okay. I was like, okay, is this what we're doing now? But everybody's talking about the ancestors right about now. How can I protect my home better from feeling the energy of my neighbors and people around me? Like sometimes can't sleep because of the vibes. I think that for me, doing personal energy work is important every day. Clearing your energy, putting yourself in a bubble, balancing the chakras. At the end of the day, it's about managing your energy. And so I would keep testing and experimenting to figure out what really works. What really works to protect you. Something that I remember I started doing when in teaching fitness classes is I would put shea butter all over me. It just felt like shea butter was a force field around me. So it's different for everybody, but that's what I would recommend. Of course, smudging. Yeah, check out Emotion Code. This book is blowing my mind. And actually, it's interesting because you use a magnet to release the emotions. And there's one that I was like, man, this is one. And this is why I'm talking about the memory, because a lot of times it's some of where we can start with is our memories. What are we remembering? Our memory allows it remembering all of this trauma. It keeps us in the trauma and, reliving it. And so, I decided to use the magnet on me to erase some memory that was recurring that created, negative emotions. Yeah. I'm telling y'all. I was like, what was that memory? What was that? Now, I've only been doing this for about a week or two, y'all, so I'll have to keep you posted. Definitely the tapping is something I cannot overstate. As a matter of fact, they have a tapping summit coming up. What is the name of this group? Tapping. I can't think of the name of it. Maybe some of you have heard of it. Psalms, huh? Okay, wait a minute. What did I miss? Oh, using the book of Psalms. Okay, nice. Someone else had mentioned Psalms to me the other day. I don't know if this is something you're interested in, but I say a short prayer to the Archangel Michael every night. My neighbors are loud and sometimes annoying. That's a good one. I remember doing a ritual with Archangel Michael. I was like, oh, that was real. This is years ago. I don't even remember what it was. So, how does the evil eye work? Does anybody know? Baby Boo Grace is asking, how does the evil eye work? I'm not sure. I don't know. So if anybody knows, let us know. So yes, but let me just say a little bit more about the foundation of the memory. So we have to remember that when we are born into a physical incarnation, part of how divinity forgets itself is, well, plays this game, is it falls into the sea of forgetfulness. Okay. Now, by the same token, part of the way this has been set up, this physical reality has been set up, is the memory is one of the prime faculties that are open, that is open, I should say. And it's used to learn about the world. It's how we learn, what to do. And it's very programmable. That's the other thing to think about when it comes to this faculty of the memory. When little babies come into this world, their faculty of memory is heightened. Think about how many of us have kids or nieces and nephews, and we're like, how do they know that? Maybe they heard something on TV. I'll never forget, I didn't take my kids to McDonald's. My older son was maybe 2, and we passed by McDonald's one time. I think my in-laws were taking them or something. We passed by McDonald's. He said, McDonald's. I was like, how does he know that's McDonald's? Like, what? Their memories are incredible. We're born this way. You were born that way. So it's almost like, I don't want to say a double-edged sword, but yes, we come here in the sea of forgetfulness. But our faculties, the way we are able to survive is through learning and memorizing. And, repetition is the mother of skill. And so we just keep learning and learning and learning. And so much of what we've learned is important for us to unlearn so that we can live authentically as who and what we are. But of course, a lot of it is related to these stuck emotions, which are memories. It's memories. They get stored in us so that we keep ourselves safe, right? And so can you see the magnitude of all of this? Can you see it? Okay, let me go back here. Okay. Check out crystal lore. You place crystals at the corners of your room. Let me just show this. They are also protective plants. You will resonate with what will work for you. Okay. Thank you, Mama Earth. Yes. Crystals. I love crystals, actually, for energy. Okay. So Jasmine says shungite. Shungite everywhere in every corner. Plants in the window. Okay. Let's see here. Turkish Greek amulet for Baby Boo Grace. Oh, okay. And that thwarts jealousy away from you. Mama Earth says she has lavender and fennel growing at the entrance of our house. I like that. Tree of life and chills amongst others in my bedroom window. I'm going to have to do that. I like that. I have lavender actually in one of my one of the corners of my house. Ah, okay. Nice. Sun catchers in the window. I think that's a good one too. Yeah, I say we have to take charge of our space and, create that energy. We have to, protect it, and we have to make it feel good for ourselves. That's really important to understand. Oh, so now I have to find out, what is this evil eye? Because I do not know. I do not know. So thank y'all so much for joining me this evening. I appreciate you. For those who are here from the inner circle, I'm sending you a message. We're getting together a little earlier tomorrow, but so look for that email. But I will be back here, God is willing, next Friday. But I need to go host a poetry event online, of course. Let's see here. Okay, cool. Y'all are helping each other out. Wonderful. So I hope that this is giving you something to think about. It's something that I don't think that people really know and understand. A lot of times we hear about spiritual growth and evolution. It seems complex, but we could do something as simple as work with our emotions. And yeah, it helps us get a lot of freedom, especially as feminine beings. We just have so much sensitivity to energy. And so if we have stuck emotions in us, then yeah. And then to even think, oh, I may have some stuck emotions from my ancestors, need to do something about that. That's something to think about. Awesome. Thank you. Frozen 2. Okay, cool. I'm watching Soul this weekend. Bohemian Bell. Nice. Yes, I encourage you. Hi, Allison. I encourage you all to really think about emotions and memory. Start studying it. Start looking at your own self. You are the best book that you could potentially study, and begin to see what works for you for releasing stuck emotions, as well as how can you remember the truth of who and what you are. That's actually what that's what we're not trying to do. That's what this is about, remembering the truth of who and what you are. I appreciate you all. Thank you all so much for being here. And Bohemian Bell said Frozen 2 is all about working through trauma and memory of ancestor. I'm like Bohemian Bell. I'm going to get a movie. Like I told y'all, Inside Out, I'm going to get a movie, and that movie is going to change my life. Matrix was one of them. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so deep. My husband was like, no, it's just an action movie. I'm like, no, you understand, my life has changed because of Matrix. So let's check out Frozen 2, everybody. Thank you all. Love y'all all so much. And I will see you all somewhere around on these interwebs, but for sure next Friday for the spiritual happy hour. Y'all have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Love y'all. Take care. Peace.